What's happening, guys? So today I want to talk about what the best rep ranges are depending on what your goals are from your training. So whether we're talking about strength or endurance or muscle size, we can use different rep ranges to try to best reach our goals. And you've probably heard this before, or at least possibly heard this before, that there's different muscular adaptations that happen depending on the rep ranges that we use. And it's hypothesized that if you do lower rep work, so typically like 1 to 5 or 6, this is better for strength. And then a more moderate rep range, somewhere between like 8 and 12 reps, give or take a couple, is usually best for muscle size or hypertrophy. And that, once we start getting up to like 15 plus, now we're talking that's something that's better for muscular endurance. And while I do agree for this for the most part, it's not entirely true, because what we're finding out through research lately is that it's really total training volume that is going to best indicate whether you're building size or not. And there was a fantastic study that was done recently, I think it was in 2014 by Brad Schoenfeld. And this study took a volume equated strength training program, and they did like a powerlifting style program versus a hypertrophy or a bodybuilding style program. And what they did was the equated volume, like I said, and then tried to see what the difference was. So one group did 7 sets of 3, so a more powerlifting style approach, with 3-minute breaks in between each set. And then the bodybuilding group did 3 sets of 10 with just 90 seconds between sets. And what they found at the end of the study was that both groups saw the exact same results in hypertrophy or muscle size. So this shows you that volume is the key indicator in muscular size. However, what they also found in this study was that the group that did the lower rep work and did the 7 sets of 3, while they saw the same size in muscle, they also saw a greater strength increase than the group that did just the bodybuilding style of training, the 3 sets of 10. So what does this tell us? Well, if we know that volume is the key indicator in muscle growth, if we can do something that makes us stronger, it only makes sense that we're going to be able to therefore do more work in the bodybuilding style of rep schemes, and therefore be able to create more training volume and get better results, right? But there's some things we have to kind of keep in mind here. So yes, while both groups saw the exact same results in terms of actual muscle size, the group that did 7 sets of 3 for 3 minutes obviously spent a lot more time in the gym than the group that did only 3 sets of 10 with half the rest time between sets. So they did 3 sets versus 7, and they took 90-second rest periods versus 3 minutes. So they were in and out really quick, whereas the other group was in there for a long time. And there was also a higher dropout rate for the lower rep work, because anytime we start getting into training that's getting closer to our 1 rep max, there's just a greater risk for injury. So there's a balance here. We can't just go, okay, well, just because the strength group saw the same results in muscle size but also better results in strength, we should just do that. We just have to keep in mind there's positives and negatives to both things. So yes, strength work is beneficial, but it takes a lot longer to do. It's also going to beat up your body more. Whereas the more moderate rep range, you can get in and out quicker, but you're not going to see as great of strength gains as you will with lower rep work. And then you also have to keep in mind too, let's talk about the higher rep work, the stuff that's better for muscular endurance, right? This has a benefit too, no matter what your goals are in training. If you have better muscle endurance, you're going to have better work capacity, you're going to be able to perform better, you're going to be able to last longer, and you're going to have increased performance because of this. So no matter what your goals are, I think it's really wise to have a mixture of all rep ranges in your training. You're just going to be a little bit more focused on one versus the other depending on what your goals are. So if your goals are to build as much muscle as possible, you're going to put more emphasis on a middle of the road kind of moderate rep range type of training program, but you're probably going to be better off also including some strength work and some endurance work, right? Now, if your goal is powerlifting and you want to get as strong as possible, you're going to put a more greater focus on the strength work, but you're also going to benefit from having some moderate rep work and probably even a little bit of endurance work in there too, right? So if we have more muscle, a bigger muscle has the capability of becoming a stronger muscle. So there's benefits no matter what it is. We're just going to focus our attention on the majority of our work on whatever our goals are, and then supplement it with some of the other work and look at the whole big picture in the grand scheme of things to get the best results based on what our goals are. So basically what I'm trying to say is, don't fall into, I should only work in a certain rep range because that's what's best for my goals. I think there's benefits to everything, and we just have to learn how to program in a way that makes the most sense for us, utilizing a little bit of everything, but putting a heavier focus on what we really want to accomplish. So I will put a link to the study in the description just so you can check it out if you want. And if you have any questions on the topic or anything you want me to cover, please let me know in the comments below, and I will talk to you later.
I'm addicted to the love that you're giving. Every minute, every day I've been craving.